So Olimar time. As most people probably know by now, I consider Olimar somewhat between a mid tier and an upper mid tier, maybe even a lower high tier. And today I'm going to be talking about his matchup split, which basically explains why I feel this way. Two things I want to mention. First of all, order within tiers does not matter. I just organize them by character type loosely, like Footsie's character, heavyweight, etc. Secondly, if my voice sounds a little bit scratchy or whatever, I was sick with the cold past couple days. My voice kind of got shot, so just bear with me if it doesn't sound like great. So generally, before I get to like Olimar's matchups, Olimar's game plan in most matchups is either be really defensive with like kind of my style, throwing a lot of Pikmin, running away, spacing like max range forward smashes, pivot grabs, using like my aerials very defensively to outspace things and whiff punch things, and just being a runaway character. I love characters that have trouble with that wall of damage and big hitboxes. Or you can be really aggressive with him, which is more like the shoot-on Iron way, which is you get in people's face, you like mix them up with like really well spaced falling back airs, short hop, fast fall, forward airs, close range forward smashes, down smashes, crossing them up with like pivot grabs, roll behind jabs, and then like baiting them out into like attacks and like jumping back with like Pikmin toss. And both are valid. I'm gonna be kind of talking about which is better in each matchup. So like if I just say, hey, this matchup's just play very campy and defensive, that just means run away, throw a Pikmin, forward smash. Obviously you're gonna be mixing up both styles when you play. And if I just say, hey, you're gonna be more pressure heavy and aggressive in this matchup, that means like the Mario shoot-on style of like get in their face with aerials, jabs, and play more like an up-close like grappler. Olimar has really good frame data actually. Like, he has a lot of fast attacks. His aerials are really fast. He has low range on his aerials and obviously good range in the ground. A lot of his things are safe. Obviously his grab is very slow. His pivot grab is like his main like good grab. He has a lot of damage output on his grab. He also has kill confirms at certain percents with like red down throw, purple back air, and he also has obviously blue up throw. It is worth mentioning that his aerials and all of his Pikmin attacks are item priority, meaning all attacks would beat his Pikmin attacks, but this matters a lot when people land atop him with aerials because he cannot challenge them with his own aerials. He has to outspeed them or let them come out, and then he has to punish on whiff. His general out shield game is pretty bad. Olimar's landing game is also really bad. That's going to be a big deal, is getting off the ledge or trying to land in neutral. And he has a lot of trouble killing some characters, and a lot of matchups are going to end up being like, if you can kill them, great. If not, because they like stall in the air by running away or these lingering aerials as they land, then it would be a problem. And for the most part, Olimar wins neutral versus most of the cast, I think. And he really just thrives on winning neutral over and over and not losing it more than a couple times. So, with that out of the way, let's get into his actual matchup spread. So now, let's talk about the pits. Obviously, I put the pits in +2 for Olimar. Everyone knows I think the pits are kind of bad. And I think in this matchup in particular, they're Footsie's character, but Olimar is better at Footsie's. He has more damage, he has more range, better frame data, he can punish like their Footsie's gameplay, like dash attacks and dash grabs really hard. The carry landed top me with aerials, and I don't really see like what they do in the matchup, to be honest. If you just play standard, can't be Olimar. Same with Little Mac, actually. He can't really approach Olimar on the ground. He doesn't have an air approach, obviously. Like, he can get in with like occasional like side Bs or dash attacks, but the damage output is just in Olimar's favor, assuming he doesn't fall into like random forward smashes and up smashes and get super hard red by like Little Mac doing like down tilt strings. Next up, Zelda. Zelda basically has one tool in this matchup, and that's Neutral B. Otherwise, she doesn't have an approach either. These +2 characters like the free matchups for Olimar, as you noticed. And as long as Olimar makes sure to not like forward smash into side B, not side B, into neutral B, of course, reflector, not reflect Pikmin on himself, and basically play a mix of defense and offense to not get too predictable, Zelda shouldn't approach. She shouldn't be able to deal with the pressure. And if she does any neutral Bs, you punish that really hard as Olimar. Easy peasy. Ganondorf, once again, +2 matchup for Olimar because Olimar's neutral is just oppressive. He can't approach. He gets comboed really hard. He can even be edge guarded. He can get in with dash attack if Olimar gives me an opening, but that's like every character with like a decent dash attack. Olimar just has to make sure to play reactionary and easy peasy. You really shouldn't fight Ganondorf up close though. Ganondorf's big, powerful buttons and decent frame data will make sure Olimar gets bodied if he's not playing like a lame-o, basically. Dedede. Dedede's a matchup that the main reason it's really bad is because purple Pikmin are busted, as everyone knows, like, purple Pikmin, I forgot to mention in, like, my Olimar introduction, is just shuts down a lot of characters, especially if you have two of them. Purple Pikmin will reflect Gordos at DD while also hitting him, and he can't do anything about Purple Pikmin. He legit has to either hit them with his very laggy punishable attacks or just accept Purple Pikmin wall him out, and then White Pikmin are very easy hit on him and do a lot of damage. And DD doesn't have a way to get in or to set up his game plan. It's really just easy for Olimar. If Olimar can split the ledge, he'll get bodied, but DD does that to everyone. Robin can't throw projectiles. Like, Elfire gets basically bodied by Pikmin. Everything except Elthunder gets bodied by Pikmin. His 11-sword aerial is a good pressure, but he's so slow that Olimar can just run away and catch his landings. When Robin has a book or 11-sword in his hand, that's a bit frustrating because he can jump over Pikmin tosses and hit Olimar. Once again, since he's so slow, he can't really pressure Olimar. Olimar can just block with Pikmin if well spaced. He can also catch it with his aerials and pressure Robin at the same time. And once Robin doesn't have 11-sword, basically Olimar just goes in for free, can pressure Robin and destroy him. Easy enough to edge guard with like 2-frame yellow down smashes, and overall just a bad matchup. Easy counter pick. And then Wii Fit Trainer, she can approach, like, same thing as these other characters, can approach a neutral. However, Wii Fit Trainer can try and play War of Attrition. Her Sun Citation, ledge camping with Soccer Ball can be a little bit annoying. Olimar can't afford to take damage because if she's camping the ledge with Sun Citations, Olimar has to win by slowly chipping her out with Pikmin tosses. He doesn't want to approach the ledge, he'll get bodied. If she gets a stock lead or like a high percent lead, Olimar has to go to the ledge and like catch her regrabbing with down smashes or just go for small amount of damage with Pikmin toss, which doesn't help. But overall, her approach tools suck. Her aerial game sucks. As long as Olimar plays neutral right and doesn't get impatient and run at her, which at the ledge, he'll just win. Next up, this is when we actually have matchups for Olimar, in my opinion. Samus was a +2 matchup for Olimar, and the only thing Samus has in this matchup is that she's very floaty, but so heavyweight, so she doesn't really get grab comboed that hard, and she doesn't die from grab combos really. Also, I should mention that Pikmin latch on less time the more percent someone has. So like a Samus at 100% is not necessarily death percent, but the Pikmin won't latch on for long anymore. Whereas like, if it's Kirby, he'd be at super death percent, so it doesn't matter if Pikmin aren't latching long anymore on him. Just to throw that out there. But yeah, so those are nice traits to have in general. Obviously Charizard gets bodied by Pikmin toss, can't do that. Olimar's too short to get hit by most aerials, which is going to be relevant in a lot of matchups. But Samus's dash attack is amazing. Like, one thing I noticed happens a lot in this matchup is I purposely let Samus hit me to like 50% or so, because Samus has a tendency to never win neutral, but then win it once off like reading a whiff pivot grab and like dash attacking into Shine Spark to kill it like 20, or even just if you block a tip or forward smash and you do another one, they can dash attack before the second one comes out, hit you and kill you. So really, because she has the opportunity with her amazing dash attack to whiff punish some things if Olimar's getting too antsy, and to start grabbing if he gets too afraid, it's best off to let her get the damage, not be a Shine Spark percent, and then just wall her out with forward smash, throw a pick when she's not going to dash attack. If she's got dash attack, you block it and you grab it or jab it or whatever, reverse it. Olimar's outshot game stinks, so sometimes you can't punish it. And yeah, you can be aggressive for Samus too, and I think she's a lot better doing with aggression though, due to her jab and her forward tilt and her dash attack than pure defense. Okay, so now we got Bowser Jr. Bowser Jr. I think it's almost a +2 matchup for Olimar. Forward smash shuts down his cart in neutral and basically everything he does. You can just throw Pikmin at him or pressure him really easily for throwing like the Mecha Bomb out. Like, everyone can do it though. Obviously, Bowser Jr. is a pretty bad character. The only reason this matchup is not +2 is because forward air and back air are annoying for Olimar to deal with. He can't really punish them well. They have good range, and Olimar's slow, so he has a lot of trouble getting out of range for them, especially if he uses his cart to move forward first. But besides that, you can't deal with the defense. You could also just rush him down and like play really aggro, out frame data him, out damage him. Just watch out, because if he does whiff punish something with like cart into up B hammer, you're dead. But a lot of the characters in this +1 section are going to be very simple matchups where they have like one or two tools that are good, but otherwise get bodied, and Bowser Jr. is a real exception. Kirby. Speaking of one or two tools that are good and then otherwise get bodied, Kirby. So let me tell you right now, Kirby's only thing in this matchup that makes this not +2 is the fact that if he gets a grab at low percents he can inhale, and then he gets Olimar's copy ability. And Olimar's copy ability gives him basically infinite purple Pikmin tosses. That's as annoying as that sounds. Now, Olimar has counterplay to that, but it's like not reliable. And honestly, I may just not fought like a Kirby good enough to like stop my counterplay. So yeah, you can't get inhaled by Kirby. You can't get grabbed at low percents. You can't even get like down at low percents. Like at low percents is the scariest in this matchup. But if you can survive those low percents or just wall him out forever, because his approach game is pretty bad. He won't have an easy time getting in to get those grabs or the downers or anything. Then you just win. And once you're at like 40 or 50 and you can't really inhale you off combos anymore, then there's not much to worry about. You just play normal neutral. Try to be a little more aggressive with holding center stage, because if he doesn't get you off stage, he can down your recovery over and over until you're dead, and that's frustrating. But yeah, he struggles with almost everything Olimar does. Roy. Roy is a character that has too little range. Like, his ground game is like the pits, where it's like he just can't get in on the ground, but he doesn't have a good dash tech either. So you don't have to worry about that. So you can just basically spam forward smash, forward smash, forward smash, pivot grab, forward smash, pivot grab. You can't do much. And then the air, he doesn't have much range, so like if you just quickly pivot grab, you can easily punish a lot of his stuff. You can also throw a Pikmin at him and lag his attacks, and once his attacks get lagged on Pikmin, he's very easy to punish. Easy to combo, easy to edge guard. He like the damage output is not in his favor. You know, Olimar is light and floaty. You would just die so quickly from like down tilt into like combos or like jab into combos or just grabbing the combos. Charizard. Charizard is we're starting to matchups where I feel like there's actually a lot of interesting stuff going in the matchup. So Charizard's range makes this so Olimar can't throw buttons willy-nilly. Like rock smash, flamethrower, forward air, dash attack, the side flare blitz, that's what's called. Back air, even the jabs. Like Charizard has so much range on his attacks that Olimar just doing pivot grabs or just standing grabs will like actually get outranged a lot of times and take damage. So Olimar is kind of forced to play a more space with his aerials, use a lot of forward smash, and try and make Charizard want to challenge him. Like, you're not trying to hit Charizard with these attacks. You're trying to make Charizard want to attack you first, so you can whiff this, make this stuff whiff. Because Charizard's attacks are obviously punished from whiff, and Charizard does get comboed really hard. Also, he doesn't deal with Pikmin that well. Like, he can nair the Pikmin, but red Pikmin still damage him and lag his attacks. We can also wait for the nair and punish him with or without Pikmin. And overall, like, you're gonna be letting it press a lot of buttons, and if he presses the right buttons, if he realizes you're baiting him out and just starts like jumping around you, letting you shield and then like tomahawking your shield, that can be a problem because you'll die early and he'll die late. Also, fun little gimmick in this matchup: throw a side B as he flare blitz, and the side B blocks flare blitz. Can we use edge guard him or just to like make flare blitz not scary if you react? You know, it shouldn't be scary anyway if you react. Anyway, Link. Link is a matchup that was +2. But now it's only +1. The reason I say it's only +1 is because he can, like all characters with items, pull up bombs and throw them above Pikmin, and like it's not easy to just throw Pikmin at him and hit him. So that's a problem. Also, fair is a really good tool because you have to respect the bomb, where you can do like bomb throw, fair pressure, and once he presses your shield with fair, if he spaces it right, you don't have a direct punish. So it's a mix-up game, but he is more damaged than Olimar, is heavier than Olimar, and basically, you lose if you play extended guessing games with Link. So he can force that by landing atop you with fairs. His tether grab is also good because if you jump and you don't like hit him with an aerial, he can generally just grab you, and that's a problem. But that's his main thing, is the range plus forcing into a lot of guessing scenarios. I think in this matchup, you want to be a bit more aggressive because you outframe data him. You do a lot of damage. And basically, he doesn't have a good out-shield game or punish game in general. So if you're in his face pressing buttons and pressuring him and not even letting him play the guessing game, you can win. I know I just said don't play a guessing game, and up close sounds like a guessing game. But I meant more of like you don't want to play a he fairs your shield and then you have to guess under his conditions type guessing game. Falco. Falco is one of those characters that doesn't really have much in this matchup. It's almost a +2, but Falco's jab can be really annoying if he gets up close because he can just jab Olimar, shut him down, like chase him forever as he's landing because Olimar's landing game stinks. With that said, Falco can't land aerials on Olimar because Olimar is so short, and Falco's aerials aren't the best on their range. Jab gets out range for Olimar stuff, so Olimar just has to play outside of that range. Up smash is good for ledge trapping Olimar, who isn't good for ledge trapping. Olimar can 2-frame him with yellow down smash, which is a huge deal for killing him. And Falco is just generally awkward hitboxes, not great speed, and mediocre ground game means Olimar just kind of just wins neutral without anything special. It's really just that Falco can sometimes kill really early if he like guesses right against Olimar at the ledge, or if he gets like a jab into a grab, he can start getting crazy damage by catching Olimar's landings over and over. Also, Falco's reflector isn't good. It's too slow and punishable for Olimar. Lucas. Lucas's main thing in this matchup is he is Zair. His Zair will hit Olimar and give him a free grab, so Olimar has to respect Lucas anytime he jumps, because Lucas can also cross up with Nair, he can space forward airs, he can do a side B, and Olimar's really not trying to deal with these mix-ups, so Olimar is going to be running away and just throwing Pikmin a lot. Like, this is one of those matchups where I think Olimar just runs away with as much Pikmin toss spam as possible, gets purples, gets whites out, and just harasses Lucas with purple and white Pikmin until Lucas gets frustrated, goes for a bad grab, and then gives Olimar an easy punish. Also, forward smash does reflect the Pikmin from Lucas, but it's very easy to punish, so you're not going to see him do it much. You can literally just let him forward smash, throw a Pikmin afterwards, and you still latch him easy peasy. Also, if he nairs and you have a Pikmin on him, the nair gets lagged so much it's hilarious, especially if you have 2 or 3. Oh my god. He'll be there for like days lagging. But yeah, Lucas has options because Olimar is light, and like I said, the aerial game from Lucas is a problem. And Olimar a lot of times just doesn't want to fight Lucas up close when Lucas is in the air. And generally Olimar will press buttons for Lucas when Lucas is on the ground, because Lucas's ground game isn't that good, and Olimar's ground game. And Olimar can shut down Lucas with short up fairs because of how slow Lucas's short up aerials are. Mega Man. Almost a plus 0.5 matchup. I put him as +1. I just have good experiences fighting Mega Man with Olimar. Basically, Mega Man gets shut down by Olimar's forward smash on the ground really hard. His only way to deal with it is well-spaced jabs, which you can see coming, or Metal Blade, which you can see coming. Metal Blade also goes through Pikmin Toss, and is generally a very obnoxious tool and kind of what Mega Man needs in this matchup. So, if you're aware of Metal Blade, you don't want to throw too many Pikmin out when Metal Blade's a potential option. So this matchup ends up being a lot of space forward smash. Catching Metal Blades with short up forward airs or just blocking it and throwing Pikmin afterwards. And if Mega Man jumps, you can a lot of times run underneath him as he jumps and like pivot grab him from behind because his back air won't hit Olimar on the ground well. Unless he like does it way too low to the ground, but then by then you pivot grab outrange the back air anyway. What else? And yes, it's Olimar's short. It's just hard for Mega Man to jump at you, but since I said its ground game isn't that good, it hurts. Mega Man's ledge trapping game, of course, is really good, and Olimar will die very early, but Olimar can also 2-frame Mega Man with yellow down smashes pretty consistently, and Mega Man is actually a pretty good weight class to get like down throw back air comboed at like a decent window of kill percents, so that's nice. Also, since Mega Man's aerials don't really linger and have a good amount of lag, you can actually just challenge him in the air, because a lot of them don't want to press aerials right away, or if they do, you just wait for it and punish. Just don't roll into Mega Man and don't like land atop him with an aerial if he's blocking with a Metal Blade hit, and Olimar should win pretty easily. Not easily, but he should have the favor. Next up, Jiggly Puff. Honestly, +1 is just a placeholder. Arguably she could be +2. She really can't hit Olimar because like she has no guard game, but her air game isn't that great either. The only thing is, Olimar can't challenge her in the air at all. He has to let her press buttons first. And I think just the initiative of Jigglypuff having so much airspeed, but also Olimar having to wait for her to press buttons, means she can mix him up with tomahawks if she does hit Olimar because he pressed a bad button, or if he's scared too much, has low shooting and is poked. He can get like carried off stage. So that's a problem. And that's really the reason it's not +2. But it still could be +2. Donkey Kong. So Donkey Kong, big character, easy to camp with Pikmin tosses. He has a good ground game though, so it's hard for Olimar to actually space pivot grabs and forward smashes on him, because like down tilt will challenge him and give DK a lot of reward. If Olimar jumps, DK can up tilt him, forward tilt him, just block and show grab. And similar to Charizard and a lot of actually like big range characters, Olimar's gonna have to respect them and let them press buttons first and go for punishes and use Pikmin Toss to lag a lot of moves out before getting this punishes. And when Olimar's in DK's face, he should stay in there aggressively with lots of pressure, movement, and generally not letting DK press the buttons. Also, DK lives for a long time, and it matters a lot because Olimar isn't the best at killing if he can't get specific setups. So if Olimar doesn't kill DK with like down throw back here like 120, then DK might just live to like 160, and you know what happens when DK is living at 160 and you're a lightweight at 50. So that's a big problem. Arguably this is just 0.5, but DK still has so much trouble approaching. He doesn't have a good way to hit Olimar from the air. Things like a super armor punch and his down B don't do much in the matchup. And the point of this matchup is Olimar is not to fight DK. Dr. Mario. Dr. Mario versus Olimar is just, Olimar walls him out. Dr. Mario is too slow to get in. If Doc does get in, he has some decent damage, but I think one of Doc's biggest flaws in general is most of his damage knocks people away. Like down throw fair, good damage, resets neutral. Down throw up smash, good damage, gives a chance for the opponent to go to a ledge or a platform and then reset neutral. And I think Doc's main thing in this matchup that makes this not really bad for him is cape reflecting Pikmin is always going to be a problem. And down B off stage is actually a pretty good way to edgeguard Olimar. It just covers a lot of his options. Otherwise, easy matchup for Olimar just to wall out in. Bowser. Remember everything I said about DK? This is what Bowser does except worse. Arguably an even or even losing matchup, but I put it at 0.5 right now. So what makes this worse than DK is that Bowser has landing aerials that work really well versus Olimar. Flamethrower and Fair both did Olimar really well, so he has to respect them. And then, of course, bigger window for Koopa. So, just Olimar is going to die like even more reliably from grab combos than versus DK. Otherwise, it's basically the same thing, but I think the differences of having landing Fair and Flamethrower and bigger Koopa windows is relevant enough in this matchup, even if you still can just run away, throw Pikmin, especially purples and whites, to be really obnoxious, and basically not play a game versus the character until you get close enough to like out-frame data them constantly. Palutena. Reflector. Palutena's Reflector is such an obnoxious tool. That move alone makes this matchup go from +1 or +2 to +0.5 because you can't just side B freely. You can't even forward smash freely. Even like your grab, if you dash grab her, the Reflector will push you back and your grab will miss and she gets a punish or compress you. So it's a really like patient match, and a character like her with good dash attack and dash grab and a good back air thrives on Olimar being patient because Olimar has to wall up people with hitboxes. He doesn't have the best punish game, and he's just gonna have to kind of let Palutena do her thing sometimes and outread her. But with that said, it's still Palutena. She still has limited options. Olimar still gets Pikmin Toss if she's not side being all the time. He still has a really good grab game, good forward smashes, and it's up to her to use side Bs good enough to keep Olimar from mashing his Pikmin attacks. Falcon. So, +0.5 for Falcon. Am I crazy? Maybe. The thing about Falcon is I feel like he has to get Olimar whiffing attacks, and it's not that easy. Because Olimar can easily just like wait for Falcon to go for an approach, roll behind him, put Falcon in the corner, then throw Pikmin or pressure him. Falcon actually doesn't deal with Olimar's up-close pressure too well. I know his jab is good, but it's still punishable. And then, like, if Olimar is just playing really well, and Falcon is trying to get in with these dash grabs, and Olimar is pivot grabbing and forward smashing them, jumping them, Falcon's going to take a lot of damage. He's going to get comboed really hard. He'll die. Yellow down smash is great for 2 framing. Olimar can just go off stage and edgeguard Falcon easily enough in general. And I feel like Falcon is a better Roy in this matchup, just because he's a better character, but it's still kind of the archetype Olimar wants to fight. Rush down characters with not much range, high committal burst options, and speed that sometimes is so fast it hurts them. It is also worth mentioning that Falcon edge traps and edge guards Olimar pretty well, but as I mentioned, Olimar does have the Falcon. Also, Olimar juggles Falcon surprisingly well. Due to Falcon's like no good landing options with aerials, Olimar could just show up air him over and over, and it's one of the few matchups where Olimar's advantage state is good, in my opinion. So that's a big deal. Okay, so you guys definitely think I'm crazy now. I'm putting in Marcina as plus point 0.5 for Olimar. Let me explain this though. These are characters that are meant to outspace the opponent and punish them for pressing buttons with very strong, long-range, oppressive disjoints. Olimar, though, he doesn't care. He can outrange them with pivot grabs and forward smashes. He can just throw Pikmin to punish them whiffing. And basically, Olimar is not going to be challenging them anyway, unless he's up close. And in that case, he has better frame data than Marcina. So, as a result, Marcina, the thing about this matchup is if Marcina can get Olimar at the ledge, he can't get off the ledge. Like, I've played this 3 many times where I'll body him in neutral, and then he gets me at the ledge, and I don't get to play the game for the entire stock. And even like when I'm landing, it's hard to land versus a good Marcina. So, even off stage, they can just go for back airs and up Bs over and over, and it's hard to do anything about that. With that said, Olimar's short size means they have to space aerials really well and low to the ground to hit him. Olimar is just amazing range, means he can whiff punish things, and they can't just press buttons willy-nilly. Olimar's combo game is pretty good on them, meaning they can't afford to get hit much. They don't have good ways to deal with Pikmin, so they'll take a lot of Pikmin damage. And since they're not the fastest, Olimar's time to run away and farm up purples and whites, which are very frustrating for them. And I actually love this matchup. It's probably, it's definitely Olimar's best top tier matchup. Game & Watch. Game & Watch is still a pretty easy matchup. Not as easy as like Dr. Mario, because Game & Watch's dash attack is very annoying. It will challenge Olimar's arrows really easily, so Olimar's kind of forced to stay grounded if Game & Watch is reacting with up smashes and dash attacks. And then, of course, Game & Watch's grab game is very strong. And he can actually dash attack and outrange Olimar's pivot grab if it's spaced right. So Olimar has to be really careful with his pivot grab spacing and relies a lot on just forward smashes. And, just well-placed forward smashes to keep Game & Watch out and outspacing the dash attacks in particular. Because that's the main thing you're looking out for, is Game & Watch wants to get with dash attacks. And once he's in there and he puts it at the ledge or in the air, he wants to just catch you with normal dash around, catch your lane with shield grab, or if at the ledge, he just jabs, reacts to rolls, and forces you into the air. So it's very, very simple matchup, which makes sense. Game & Watch is a very simple grab character. And Olimar just wins more or less by virtue of being a better character and forward smash being a busted tool, along with Game & Watch being so light that he can't afford to take any Pikmin damage. But Game & Watch doesn't deal with Pikmin in a safe way. Olimar can just punish whatever Game & Watch does, deal with Pikmin pretty easily. Pac-Man. This is a matchup where I personally hate this matchup, as everyone knows. I think it's whoever gets a lead first wins. A 20% lead in this matchup is all you need. The thing is, fruit and bonus fruit can go through Pikmin. Oranges sometimes do it. Of course, Galaga does it. Key does it. Bell can do it. And it's Olimar can't throw Pikmin out too freely. And even forward smash isn't that great because Pac-Man's going to jump above him and do a nair to some sort of pressure, and Olimar has to take the pressure, if not just get hit flat out. Luckily, Olimar's forward smash does break Hydrant, so Pac-Man cannot hide behind it. Also, if Olimar is hitting the fruit with Pikmin, I think it slows down the bonus fruit charge, so that's a really big deal. Pac-Man doesn't have a good ledge game, so Olimar can actually ledge trap him by just forward smashing, and if Pac-Man jumps, Olimar can bait out a Pac-Man aerial and punish with an aerial, because Pac-Man's aerials are really low range and kind of, not laggy, but they're low range and not threatening enough for Olimar to be afraid of him and have to shield. I think I've seen Shuton play Sinji in this matchup, and I believe Shuton won by being more aggressive, and I kind of think that's what we have to do in the matchup is you be aggressive, you don't let Pac-Man charge fruits, you kill hydrants, you abuse the fact that you can throw purples at Pac-Man, force him to shield, which stops his bonus fruit charge. That's a big deal. Next up, Duck Hunt. Not a matchup I've played too much. From what I've played of it, I think it's another matchup where aggression works better because Gunman goes through Pikmin. So if you're trying to outcamp Duck Hunt, he's going to win by throwing out Gunman, forcing your shield, setting up cans, or just approaching and doing every once when Gunman setup. So, because Gunman is just going to destroy Olimar's camping game, Olimar's forced to approach. With that said, Olimar does outrange Duck Hunt, does outdamage him, does outlive him, can edgeguard him. Purple Pikmin are once again frustrating for him. He doesn't deal with white Pikmin too well. Like, Nair's okay to deal with it, but it's also pretty easy to punish it if Olimar's ready for that. And yeah, you just gotta rush him down. Respect the fact that, like, if he gets Olimar off stage, he can just hit him over and over with cans. That's a problem. He can be very difficult for Olimar to kill because of can and Gunman. His dish are really good because he can reactionary stop Olimar from jumping at him, which means Olimar's playing grounded offense, which isn't the best for Olimar. He wants to jump, so it's gonna be a lot of situations where like Olimar jumps and Duncan says nope, and Olimar has to try jumping again. But overall, Olimar's pressure and damage output keeps this matchup even enough. Villager. Villager is very interesting, since his aerials have to be low to the ground anyway to hit most people, but Olimar is so short that he has to be especially low, meaning Olimar should react to almost every aerial pretty easily. With that said, if Villager lands on top Olimar with a Nair, Olimar, unless he perfect shields, has to basically take the pressure from like Nair to jab or Nair to second Nair, Nair to jump away, space aerial. So that's annoying, but Olimar can't camp a Villager well, because Villager will just pocket, and even though he can pocket one Pikmin at a time, the rest will latch onto him. Villager has enough weight, he doesn't mind taking the Pikmin damage, and when he pockets a Pikmin, he can throw it back as a purple Pikmin, which does a lot of damage. Like, it doesn't literally become a purple Pikmin, but has a hitbox, a good amount of knockback and damage, and overall, Olimar's not trying to camp out with Pikmin tosses, he's trying to outspace his aerial approaches with pivot grabs and forward smashes, or just challenge him head up with forward airs before he can jump. And I think it's a very frustrating matchup for both sides. Olimar still wins neutral because he's Olimar and he has a lot more good options in neutral, more range. And you can always make some Pikmin tosses when he thinks the Villager isn't going to isn't going to pocket. And Pikmin, I believe, block the gyro. The real thing about this matchup that makes it even is that if Villager puts Olimar off stage, that's one of the easiest edge guards in the game. Villager's edge guarding game is crazy, his ledge trapping game is crazy. And while the Olimar's recovery is good, it's not good versus Villager in particular because he has some hitbox on his recovery, and I feel like you need that to challenge the polling ball, and Villager just going off stage with aerials. So, yeah. Mewtwo. I know a lot of Olimars hate this matchup. I think it's even. The thing about this matchup is both characters do really well versus each other, as weird as that sounds. So, Mewtwo's forward air is very annoying versus Olimar. Mewtwo's down tilt, annoying versus everyone, including Olimar. Mewtwo's neutral air. If Olimar's disadvantaged, Olimar's getting bodied. If Mewtwo wants to camp Shadow Balls, though, Olimar's going to throw a Pikmin to stop that. If Mewtwo wants to down tilt Pikmin on him, he's going to get punished really easily. If Mewtwo wants to do neutral airs on the ground, Olimar's so short he can punish neutral air by shielding the first half when it's rising, and then just like catching his landing as Mewtwo falls. And of course, if Mewtwo doesn't fall in neutral air, then Olimar could just move away from it because it's like a slower option because he has to fall at the aerial. So that's that. If Mewtwo wants to camp Olimar running away with like short up air dodges and whatever, Mewtwo can do that, but Olimar eventually will catch him with an up air and a platform, either through just directly hitting him or reading his jumps or dwindling down shield or just putting on good pressure. So I feel like Mewtwo can't run away with short up air dodge on platforms as much as people would expect. And then finally, since Mewtwo's big, light, and not floaty, like obviously he's not fast follow, but people always act like he's floaty when it's not. He gets comboed pretty hard, and he dies really early and has decent windows for kill combos. So even though Olimar dies early as well, I think they both are pretty even in kill power. Also, Olimar can two-frame with yellow down smash pretty reliably, and sometimes even down tilt, which matters a lot. I was about to mention it was Falcon, I think. Olimar can two-frame him with down tilt, which is a really big deal. Zero Suit. We already know how Zero Suit works. Hits you like twice or three times in neutral, you're dead. Olimar is no exception. He destroys Zero Suit neutral, absolutely bodies her. And her electric attacks make Pikmin lag especially long if she attacks, so she can't get rid of Pikmin with neutral air or down smash really at all. Down smash is fine, but neutral air is way too laggy with Pikmin on top of her for her to use. If Olimar misses a forward smash, she actually has time to whiff punish forward smash with her dash grab. So Olimar can't really do that or pivot grab in neutral. And that's one of the scariest things about the matchup is you have to be a little bit close to her at all times. So she's forced to block attacks as a void to making them whiff. Or make it so she has to jump over the attack. The point is you don't want her whiffing the attack in neutral. Otherwise, like if you see, for example, Myra versus Nairo, this character is just so good versus Zero Suit in neutral. And if Olimar plays on point, in theory, Zero Suit should never be able to win neutral. It's just that people aren't perfect. and give Zero Suit that 1 or 2 chances to hit Olimar, and Olimar will die. Bad disadvantage state, light, easy to combo, bad aerial mobility, even easy to edge guard for Zero Suit, and it's a wrap if Olimar gets hit a couple times. And also, of course, Olimar has trouble killing Zero Suit because of her down B lets her just freely evade like killing aerials. So she'll build up rage despite being a lightweight, which, yeah, we already know how that goes. Rob. Give me a second. So, this matchup used to be considered awful for Olimar. Like, -2, I believe. And I think the thing about this matchup is, Campy Olimar does not work. Gyro, blocks, Pikmin, period. And Laser goes through Pikmin. So, Olimar spamming side B and running away doesn't work. He just gets out-camped hard by Rob. With that said, Rob isn't good at dealing with pressure. He, bad frame data and all these other things. So, I think if Olimar just pressures Rob, baits out neutral layers, throws Pikmin up close to make his down tilt stuff laggy, and avoids getting grabbed, he'll be fine. And the thing is, Rob's grab is pretty committal and not much range. So, Olimar is able to easily avoid the grabs. And really, it was the fact that Rob is a super heavyweight and Olimar's light. So, Olimar struggles to kill Rob, but then Rob will kill him like 50 sometimes. This matchup will be Olimar's favor, in my opinion. But, as of now, it's even. So now, Mario. Mario's one of those matchups which the neutral for Olimar is really nice, to be honest. But the problem ends up being when he loses neutral, it's too punishing. Like, Mario's damage output is just better than Olimar's. When Mario gets Olimar into his vortex of grabbing, re-grabbing, catching landings, ledge trapping, it's just such a problem. And also, Olimar doesn't really have a way to push much advantage state versus Mario. Like, Mario can land with aerials pretty easily because Olimar can't attack him as he's landing due to lingering down air, lingering air, which just beats his aerials. Obviously, you can try whiff punishing them, but it's not easy to whiff punish them because Mario can drift around during the aerials. He can also, there's a lot of ways for Mario to mix up his landing with his aerials and stuff, and you have to be pretty good at reading what he's going to do to punish them. Also, Mario's cape is very annoying because obviously cape's Pikmin reflects him, but also up close, it's fast enough and low lag enough, they can just do it up close to hit Olimar trying to forward smash. What I like to do instead is charge down smash in his face, so even if he capes me, I can delay the down smash and hit him afterwards, and because it's a down smash, even when he turns him around, it still hits him. But that's kind of like a bandage for the fact that we can't just throw out random forward smashes to pressure Mario, and that's a problem. So up close, Mario is really scary because we're dying at 30 or 40 if he reflects the forward smash. It's that powerful. Otherwise, like I said, neutral is still good for Olimar, but Olimar can't keep Mario out forever. Mario will get it with some sort of mix of jump-ins, rolls, dashing through, fireball steps, whatever. So it's up to Olimar just to outplay Mario for the most part, which is why it's only slightly Mario's favorite, because even though it's outplaying him, Olimar doesn't have to outplay Mario that much. He just has to outplay him enough to do a bit more damage, kill a little bit earlier, that kind of stuff. Also, Olimar can 2-frame Mario's recovery with down smash, the yellow Pikmin. That's a huge deal, because that's still got a lot of stocks by matchup. And if Olimar couldn't do that, this matchup would easily be a -1, because it's just Mario. Next up, Peach. So, Peach, I was thinking about putting as 0, but I decided -0.5. Because the thing about Peach is, when she doesn't want to die, it's hard to kill her. And that's going to be a lot of the matchups in this -0.5 tier. Is matchups where the neutral is fine, but killing is the problem. Because lingering down air, neutral air being really safe, and forward air just being a big hitbox means it's hard to kill. We can throw a Pikmin at her, we can get some small damage with fairs and back airs, but getting some Pikmin damage and fairs and back airs is cool and all, but we can't really grab Peach that well because she's always floating and doing really safe on shield dares and nairs. Also, she nairs my Pikmin really easily, so that's kind of a huge problem. We're forced to just get purples and smack her with a lot of purple side Bs, which is fine, that's what we want. But we're going to do a lot of damage to her with these purple side Bs, with these short up fairs. But back air is a little bit too slow. If they're pressing buttons, hit him with it. We're not going to land up airs on them if they're spacing right. We're not going to land smashes because they're not going to play on the ground versus Olimar. We're not going to land grabs for the same reason. So, for example, watch me versus Absora from 2G Championship. I won neutral almost every time. But I could never get the kill. I'd have to kill him with forward airs 160, 170. Meanwhile, he gets me with a forward air at 70 and I'm dead. Also, Peach is good at edge guarding Olimar because the down air just bodies him over and over, along with forward air, along with nair. If Olimar misses a grab, he gets punished really hard, so he's also forced to do low committal options. With this said, it's only minus 0.5 because, as I mentioned, the neutral is still, like Olimar still just gets purple Pikmin and bodies her neutral with purple Pikmin and Ferris. And if Olimar gets reads at the ledge, he can kill the ledge. It just requires making hard reads or winning neutral so much that purple Fair will kill at 170, which is more reasonable than it sounds. Yoshi. This is another matchup where he's hard to kill. Like, neutral air makes it very hard to kill Yoshi along with his natural air ability. It's actually very similar to Peach in that you won't really catch him on the ground pressing buttons, so you won't get chances to forward smash him or grab him. But just by throwing Pikmin, and particularly throwing a lot of purple Pikmin, and just doing aerials after you press the button, because if you press like an aerial button, you can just jump fair and jump up air him pretty easily. You can even just challenge him if he goes for fairs with your fair before, and like hit him before his hitbox comes out. So there's a lot of options versus him. It's just that at the end of the day, we're going to hit Yoshi a lot with small hits and nothing crazy. We just have to accept we have to make a hard read or two when he's at like 100+% to get kills. Otherwise, he's going to live for a long time and abuse Rage plus Yoshi. He can get like nair forward and kill Olimar early. He also, similar to Peach, edge guards Olimar really hard. So can't really afford to lose neutral, but it's very easy to win neutral over and over versus him. Shulk. Shulk is the epitome of a badly designed matchup, I think. Like, this is the matchup where if the opponent wants to just run away and not die, they can do that. Take everything I said about Yoshi or Peach, then give that to Shulk, except 10 times. Jump Monado plus Shield Monado make him almost impossible to kill, or even just Jump Monado plus Speed Monado. Like, giant aerials Olimar can't challenge or punish. We can't even like preemptively jump aerial because it's so big. You know, jumping around when he's at kill percents, looking for us to get impatient, or just timing us out if he has a percent lead. Not dying with Shield Monado. Once he has a lead, it's very annoying. With that said, he has to get a lead. If Olimar's going to get a lead at the start with throwing Pikmin just because Shulk can't get rid of Pikmin well, especially whites. Purples will still shut him down pretty hard. Shulk also doesn't have good ground buttons at all. His grab game sucks. Like, Shulk's buttons suck, but he'll just face aerials on top of Olimar and hope Olimar messes up or like gets caught by tomahawks or thinks the tomahawk's going to happen and then tries to press button and gets hit anyway, or just, like I said, messes up. So it's a weird matchup because a lot of people hate this matchup as Olimar, and I don't blame them because you have to have your neutral on point and consistently win it. But like, Olimar has to mess up for Shulk to hit him, and that's definitely the biggest thing in this matchup. Next up, Wario. So the Wario matchup is similar to the Shulk matchup, and that's why I put them next to each other, because they just run away, except the difference is Wario's looking to stall until he gets waffed, and Wario kind of has to fight Olimar because he doesn't have quite the stall options as a Shulk. He doesn't have like a Jump Monado or Shield Monado or a Speed Monado. He just has good air ability, and Olimar can eventually catch his landings with Pikmin tosses or even aerials. I mean, obviously Wario can let down air, but like that's laggy, so Olimar can actually block and punish that. If Wario lands with bites, obviously Olimar with punches that pretty easily. So Wario's landing options on top of Olimar are really bad. And Wario might not even get a chance to land the waft if Olimar is just patiently catching landings with Pikmin tosses, occasional aerials, and making sure to give Wario room to whiff attacks if Wario tries to aggressively land. Also, Olimar can punish Bike pretty easily in reaction with forward air, or even back air, or down air. So that's not a big deal. And if Wario gets the Bike, and Olimar camps it, then Wario's like stalling options go down a lot. Like, Wario kind of needs the Bike to stall, and eventually he's going to mess up and put it on stage, and give Olimar a chance to guard it, and go after Wario while making sure he can't get to the Bike. I know it sounds like kind of basic conceptually, and a little bit weird, but it's a very weird matchup. But it's still Wario's favorite because, like, Olimar, like, Wario just has to not mess up. If he never messes up, Olimar should theoretically never get a chance to hit him. Pikachu as well, sort of. Another character who can just run away with, this time, quick attacks. Like, as long as it's not off D, Pikachu can just run away with quick attacks and Thunder Jolts, and it's hard to do anything about it. If you watch Esam vs. Me, it's a YouTube video from like 2 years ago. It was a Wi-Fi match, to be fair, so it's different. But it still kind of showcased the matchup, which is Pikachu has no reason to fight because he can Thunder Jolt and Quick Attack away outside of Pikmin toss range. And Olimar has to make really hard reads on the quick attack to get any damage, whereas Pikachu just has to read Olimar, get some damage with quick attack, and run away. Read, damage, run away. So, like, it's weird, but I think I should actually put Pikachu as -1. And in fact, I'll do that right now because Olimar really can't do anything about a defensive run with Pikachu except make reads and not get blown up. With that said, it's hard for Pikachu to actually approach with anything but quick attack. So it's one of those like things, I know you're going to do it, it's just how you going to do it type matchups. And that's why I think Olimar can win it. Sheik. Sheik's actually not that bad of a matchup. I know it sounds crazy. The thing about Sheik is, of course, she gets in Olimar's face, shot frame data at him, keep at the ledge, keep him juggled, etc. But Olimar's range, like always, lets him do well over his characters to actually fight. When Sheik's trying to get grabs or space aerials, Olimar can just pivot grab, forward smash, do whatever he wants, play his normal game, and outrange her, do a lot of damage, kill her quickly, and she gives a lot of openings when she's just playing her game to get hit. And even if she tries camping needles, Olimar's just gonna throw Pikmin. And the damage exchange is gonna be in Olimar's favor. So she can't actually camp needles. Also, if Olimar gets purples and whites, it's especially bad for her. She's really susceptible to combos if Olimar can get the grab, which isn't too hard surprisingly, because you can fish for perfect shield, jab jab, dash grab setups on Sheik. And I don't mind it. She can try running away, sure, but I think she's such a fast faller. It's easy enough to catch her landing, surprisingly, that she's never going to get to a point unless there's a minute left in the clock that she can confidently run away from Olimar. And even then, and then I have a minute left in the clock. Olimar can always just, chase Sheik. So Sheik has to at least try and fight due to her fall speed. Toon Link. This is a weird matchup that puts a negative one because you think of projectile matchups as Olimar. You think, oh, Olimar should win this easily enough, right? And normally that's the case. But in Toon Link's specific matchup, the problem is bombs plus boomerangs are really good. He can boomerang around Pikmin and then bomb around Pikmin. So he has two projectiles he can rely on to just weave around the Pikmin and pressure Olimar. And once Olimar's showing his outshow game where he sucks. Toon Link's show pressure game, once he gets going, is crazy. Big, powerful destroys with, not big, but decent range destroys that are very powerful and scary and good on block. Lots of setups that force you to unshield, but since Olimar doesn't have much range, he can't challenge Toon Link if Toon Link does things like space these aerials, play his normal game plan, and then challenge Olimar by outspacing him. But with that said, he's still forced to jump to actually get his good aerials. If Olimar reads where Toon Link's gonna throw his bombs and his boomerangs, he can challenge him with the Pikmin and then get in Toon Link's face. He's still outframed his Toon Link really hard, so if Olimar gets going in Toon Link's face with aerials, Toon Link doesn't have the best out of shield game. If he can't force whiffs, Toon Link's have to take all the pressure, and that's a big deal. Toon Link's not too heavy, and when Toon Link wants to kill, it's a little bit hard for him because Olimar is so short. They can't just get landing fairs or fair setups. And since Olimar's so good on the ground, it's hard for him to get raw up smashes or forward smashes or back throws. So it's kind of the reverse of most matchups where normally Olimar's trouble killing. I think in this matchup, Toon Link should be the one struggling to kill. Ike. Okay, so this is a weird matchup to be negative, but the problem with Ike matchup is he can just fall on top of Olimar with nairs, and Olimar's basically hard to read the nair. And so Ike's ledge trapping game is crazy good on Olimar. Ike's advantage state is good enough versus Olimar, but Olimar has no good way to deal with Ike's neutral air. And to an extent, fair. He can throw Pikmin, but Ike can just back off with safe retreating neutral airs, and Olimar can't really do much about it. With that said, Ike has no good way to deal with Pikmin, so a lot of this matchup is going to be Olimar throwing Pikmin like always, and trying to make Ike make a bad play. And then once Ike makes a bad play, Olimar can get in and start pressuring him. And it's up to Olimar once he gets in, because it's hard to get in versus neutral air and fair and even back air wall. Olimar has to stay in. Also, so Ike's going to get not too much damage off his conversions unless he can get down tilts or grabs, which shouldn't be easy on Olimar. So he actually has to win neutral a lot and take these small rewards. And that's why I think this matchup's only -0.5 instead of -1 or even -2. Diddy Kong. Diddy Kong is almost an even matchup. My problem with the Diddy Kong matchup is he can use Banana to go over Pikmin Toss all of the items and get a lot of damage. But also, unlike every other character with items, Olimar can't really contest Diddy Kong well up close. Diddy Kong's down tilt and his great roll and his falling back air are all really good options Diddy Kong's really good at grab frame data is actually hard for Olimar to deal with. Side B can be surprisingly an annoying tool, mainly because Olimar doesn't have a good way to punish that. And it's like Diddy Kong's frame data is so good that Olimar can't. He has to outread Diddy Kong up close. And at a distance, Olimar's Pikmin game is decent for camping, but like, he's not going to wall Diddy Kong well with forward smashes or pivot grabs, so he's got to fight Diddy Kong a lot at mid range. With that said, Olimar still has more range, he still has crazy good damage output. If he gets Diddy Kong's banana, he can start like really walling Diddy Kong out. Also, I feel like this is one of those matchups where stage wise, it's really hard for Olimar to find a good stage. Like, FD is really good for Diddy Kong, obviously. Smash Bros. Too small, I feel like, for Olimar. Battlefield lets Diddy Kong just, like, move around the platforms with side Bs and get free bananas a lot of times. And, yeah. So, I don't know. It could be an evenish matchup. We have seen Shuton beat 0. But I feel like most of the time when I fight Diddy Kongs, it's just a struggle to win neutral enough to beat him, considering he has consistent kill confirms, and Olimar doesn't have that. Olimar can edge guard him easily enough, but Diddy Kong can also body Olimar at the ledge or off stage freely. So, yeah, just Diddy Kong slightly edges out Olimar in the categories that matter. Next, we get to the -1s. These are matchups where we get to the point of, like, you might want to counterpick, but you don't need one yet. Rosa, I used to think this matchup was Olimar's favorite, funny enough. So the Rosa matchup is frustrating because Rosa could just run away from Olimar with her floatiness, her decent-sized aerials that are really hard to challenge because of Luma. And Olimar can't do much to catch her landings if she wants to play like a runaway character at all. But also, if Rosa hits Olimar, Rosa keeps Olimar in disadvantage state really bad. Like, it's actually very consistent to 0 death him once you get any sort of like dash tech on Olimar. With that said, Rosa is light. If Rosa goes for a dash attack and Olimar reads it, she can like get super hard punished. Forward smash will poke at Luma. I guess I should start by saying, in this matchup, Rosa struggles with grounded neutral versus Olimar. Like, her jab game's okay, her side B game's okay, but like Pikmin toss is gonna do a lot of damage to Rosa because she's tall but light. Purple Pikmin are gonna poke out Luma pretty hard, and if Rosa tries grabbing purples and Olimar reads it, he can punish her hard. So it's kind of a weird game of, are you gonna purple, yes or no? And if I react to purple and gravity, are you close enough to punish it? So, when you factor all that stuff together, you end up with a matchup where, even though Rosa can't win neutral reliably, she only needs to win it once, and Olimar needs to win it a good amount of times. Like, if Olimar wins neutral and kills Luma, he can just keep winning neutral and rushing down Rosa without Luma and like catch her landings. And anytime he hits Rosa, it's so much damage because she's so light, and it's very easy to hit her with like a straight up air at like 80 and kill her. So that's a problem. But Rosa just needs one opening, not even like a punish, just like one good jab, one good dash attack, one good landing there, down air, put Olimar in a bad spot, and ledge trap infinitely with down tilts, jabs, keep in the air with up airs, even just go off stage with back airs and down airs. And it is bad if Rosa gets going. Ness. Ness is really annoying. It's surprisingly annoying, actually. The thing about Ness is his neutralizer is really good at getting Pikmin, but it's really hard to punish for Olimar. It's one of those few, like, really just, Olimar can't do much about this when he's getting rid of Pikmin with it type tools. That's really frustrating. Ness is one of those characters with a really good dash attack with a lot of disjoint, which will easily outrange Olimar's pivot grab and punish him for it, and even beat like forward smashes. So Olimar can't just do like a lot of stuff on the ground because dash attack will blow him up for it. Even if he's side Bs, he can just get dash attacked. And then like just Ness's general aerial pressure game is really good on Olimar, but since Ness has crazy Ember ability, he doesn't have to commit if he doesn't want to. If he sees Olimar is backing off, he can easily back off and not get punished by Olimar at all. Even if he whiffs, it's hard for Olimar to punish the whiffs. And if Olimar's shielding and Ness hits the shield something well spaced or a cross up, Olimar has to take not only that, but a lot of times Ness is in a position to continue the pressure, similar to how Lincoln spaced fair and Olimar's shield, and just continue the pressure really hard. Combine that with Ness's really good damage output and grabs, down smash, two-framing Olimar over and over until he's dead. And it being so hard to kill Ness mainly because of Nair just shutting down almost all aerials and being so fast. And forward smash, of course, reflecting pick, which doesn't matter too much, but it is slightly annoying. And even Side B can catch Olimar's landings, which can actually be more frustrating than you expect, especially also because Side B can catch pair grabs. And you just have a matchup where you'd be very surprised to say Nest beats Olimar, but I feel like you'd be right, and it's pretty hard. Sonic. Okay, Sonic's one of those matchups where Olimar should out neutral him, and he does. But since it's Sonic, eventually you'll get one whiff punish on something and get a lot of damage. And you know how Sonic works. He gets damage, holds advantage state, blah, blah, blah. And I just think it's one of those matchups where it's a case of Sonic being such a good character compared to Olimar, where all he needs is a win neutral once to get that damage, and then the moment he has a lead, he can just run away forever. There's actually almost nothing Olimar can do about Sonic running away. And as long as Sonic doesn't run into like dumb forward smashes and pivot grabs, it's hard to get meaty damage on him. You'll get like side Bs and that's it. And even the Sonic can nair from so far away, and he can't do anything about it because it's Sonic and just ran full screen to nair Pikmin off. That like once he gets even like a 30% lead, it's basically over. And so you're forced to constantly react to spin dashes and whiff punish them, challenge him with forward smashes, roll around him, catch him if he does something dumb. That becomes a very difficult matchup. Meta Knight. Now, Meta Knight's a character who his dash attack, similar to other characters, is just really good versus Olimar. Olimar can punish dash attack if it's not spaced well, but good Meta Knight players have the option to just play really slow and defensively until they see an open dash attack. You do a bad side B, dash attack. You try and dash grab him, dash attack. You pivot grab, he will dash attack. You forward smash, he'll do a Samus where he waits for a forward smash and then dash attacks you before you can press another button. So if you press the button, you get hit, but if you don't press the button, he just got a safe dash attack on you, can now pressure. And then also, because otherwise this wouldn't be that bad of a matchup, also due to his multiple jumps and his down air and his neutral air and his, those two aerials, he's able to, and his just aerial mobility options with like side B and down B, as dumb as those sound, he's able to hold a lead really hard. If he gets even like a 40% lead, you have to make hard reads with like up airs or aerials to catch him, but he has enough speed and disjoint on his aerials to just challenge you, hit you, and make his lead even bigger. So, also since Olimar is light, floating, small, easy of course to ladder and kill off the top at absurd percents. Olimar is also easy to edge guard with back airs or anything Meta Knight wants. Olimar can't really edge guard Meta Knight except maybe with 2-frame yellow nail smash, even though I'm not sure. And then Meta Knight having a good grab game means he can just run up, shield a forward smash up close, and then grab Olimar and kill him. And overall, you have this character that can blow up Olimar for anything, but also pressure him if Olimar does nothing. So Olimar's kind of forced to do something due to Meta Knight's speed and burst game. But also, once Meta Knight gets the lead, he can just keep it forever by running away from Olimar. And even though Meta Knight gets comboed very hard, even though if you pressure him really hard with Olimar, it's good. I feel like Meta Knight's fast enough that he doesn't have to get pressured by Olimar if he plays it right. And that's why I think it's a pretty bad matchup for Olimar. I feel like Greninja is also similarly bad. Although Greninja can't like ladder Olimar. Greninja can edge guard him with back airs over and over. Fair is sort of like Mewtwo's Fair, where it's overly oppressive tool that Olimar can't do much about. Even with Pikmin the lag to move out and like stuff, unless the Greninja spaces it really badly, it's hard to actually punish space fairs. Shuriken is really annoying. Greninja is amazing at catching Olimar's landings, and since Greninja is so fast, and his dash attack and dash grab are both pretty good tools, he's able to whiff punish Olimar and also burst him down at his discretion. Nair being an amazing cross-up tool and just pressure tool in general is frustrating for Olimar, who already has bad out shield options, but doesn't have the speed to make like Greninja's approaches whiff. And that's the thing, Olimar's got to shield a lot of Greninja's approaches, because Greninja is fast and Olimar is slow. And it's ended up with this matchup that doesn't feel that bad, and there's nothing overly oppressive about it, but it's just like, Olimar does not win neutral. Olimar has trouble with disadvantage. Olimar also can't push an advantage too hard outside of basic combos, because Greninja's double jump is so high up and his airspeed's good. And then his up B, Greninja can lay up B and Olimar can't chase it with anything but Pikmin toss, if it's done like across the stage in FD. And as a result, it's hard to kill him. It's hard to get big damage on Greninja. And it's another matchup of attrition where Greninja should just win. And now finally, minus 1.5 matchups. These are the matchups I almost put a -1, but I felt like are so close to being winnable versus a good player that it wasn't fair to put them in -1. So Luigi sounds like a weird one, right? You think a character with a bad approach game would get by Olimar? The thing is, Fireball actually carries Luigi in this matchup really hard along with Neutral Air and Jab. So Fireball, unless it's like really close, will clank forward smash, will stop Pikmin toss unless it's red, can punish like Olimar jumping of course, and can also punish pivot grab. But also if Olimar shields, it lets Luigi get in. So Fireball shuts down a lot of Olimar's gameplay at neutral. Next up, Luigi's so good up close that Olimar's good frame data isn't good enough. Like we already know how Luigi goes. He gets up close, he starts jabbing and grabbing and doing all these attacks, and his attacks up close are crazy. You never want to let him get up close for a reason. Well, Olimar can't keep him out because of the aforementioned Fireball, but also down B can cut through Olimar's attacks. But also, if Luigi lands on top of Olimar's back of his shield with Nair, like, Olimar's have a good answer to that. Also, if Luigi gets up close with jab or grab, he can just keep hitting Olimar with combos, reset him, and this is Olimar's airspeed is so slow, and Luigi's combos already knock you far away, lets him vortex. He will vortex Olimar for like an entire stock without much difficulty. Can also edge guard Olimar easily with his down B or his back air. Luigi's Nair basically shuts down Olimar's ability to kill him with aerials, and since he's already hard to kill, he's already hard to combo as a character. Well, Olimar's combos sometimes are kind of tight, so he actually has very small windows for decent combos on Luigi, and it's very easy for Luigi to just Nair out of Olimar's combos and reverse him and do a lot of damage to him. So Olimar, even if he gets grabs, can't get meaty damage reliably. And overall, this matchup's almost -2, but the -2 matchups are just so oppressive that I couldn't justify putting Luigi there. But this matchup is hard. Ryu. Focus attack. That's all I'm saying. If you want to kill Ryu and he's just jumping around with focus attacks, good luck. You need to get a kill with a grab, but even then he could just see you go for a grab and not let you get the grab because he's jumping around with focuses, canceling everything else. But also, similar to Luigi, if he hits your shield with anything, the pressure on your shield from like back air and air, anything really up tilts. Olimar have a good option, as I mentioned, and Ryu exacerbates that problem to a point where Olimar's shield gets hit, and he just has to roll and pray. Olimar can't do anything. I shield versus that pressure. It's hard to whiff punish back here because of all the range. It's hard to get big damage on Ryu just because like he's a heavyweight character. He can focus, break stuff, and punish. He can sure you break stuff even if you get too crazy. You can't do like jab, dash grab at him because he can literally just sure you that a lot of percents. And since it's hard to kill him, and Ryu is such a rage monster, it's so consistent for you to be like beating Ryu in neutral by throwing some Pikmin, getting minimal damage because back air is destroying Pikmin along with Nair and Fair, and it lingers. The hitbox is hard to punish as a result. And that like, you'll win neutral, get minimal damage, and then it'll hit you once and it'll out damage you. Side B also actually surprisingly good in the matchup because it just blows up Olimar trying to jump and like throw a Pikmin or even do aerials. As crazy as that sounds. And just in general, Ryu anti-airs so well with his own aerials or his up tilt. And since Olimar's slow, a lot of times he relies on rolling, and Ryu's one of the best characters at low commitment roll punishing. Like, you know, tilt, sure, you're dead. So overall, I think this is an atrocious matchup. Next up, Lucario. The entire reason Lucario is bad is because of aura and reach. Like, if you saw Shootdown vs. Sue, for example, recently, you would see Shootdown bodies Sue in neutral over and over, but there's no way to kill Lucario's Olimar if Lucario was to play like the way he's supposed to, like camping with Aura Sphere charge, you know, spacing back airs, avoiding grab kills, just not letting him get like raw aerials, which is really easy because of once an Aura Sphere charge being so good. And then you just kill Olimar really early. Like as I said, Olimar struggles to kill, and a character like Lucario who takes advantage of people struggling to kill, this has a field day in this matchup. Bayo. So Bayo, I almost put as -1. The reason I put as -1.5 is because Bayo is just such a good character. Like, we've all seen like how she just combos people when they die. I don't have to talk about this. So in this matchup in particular, Olimar doesn't do amazing for certain neutral, surprisingly. Mainly because the fact that she can witch time Pikmin is busted. So like you can't actually throw Pikmin at her much. If you do, you have to whistle it back when she goes for witch time. But when you whistle a Pikmin back, you can't attack with Olimar's Pikmin attacks. They're like all stuck in like this whistle animation. So you can't do like whistle forward smash on her, or just be whistle empty attack. You have to like whistle jab, whistle forward tilt, which at kill percentage gets very frustrating. Because if she witch times the Pikmin and you're near, you get caught. If you're not near, she gets a free approach due to the invincibility from witch time. Meaning, in general, Pikmin toss is kind of not great, but you need to do it for damage. Because you can't just out neutral her up close. She has too many good options in neutral with side Bs, bears, up Bs, down tilts. You name it, she has it, of course. That, even though I don't actually mind this matchup personally, I also acknowledge this matchup is really hard, solely because of how overtuned Bayo's tools are and how frustrating it is to know your main tool with a Pikmin toss it can actually help her out more than you out. And then Cloud is like Rosa on steroids, where I feel like the neutral isn't that bad, and in fact Olimar wins the neutral versus Cloud pretty hard. Not pretty hard, kind of pretty hard. Like Cloud just wants to land off aerials and do like space side B sometimes and just run away with limit charge. The thing is, since Olimar struggles chasing characters that run away, and Cloud wins by running away charging limit, he can do that and then fight you. And like obviously at that point you have to get rid of limit, and everything about the risk reward of fighting Cloud limit is not in your favor, but there's no way to stop it against Cloud. Also, then Cloud's advantage state's so good, it's better than Rosa's. And we talked before about Rosa like basically winning off hitting Olimar once. Cloud does the same thing. So that's a problem. Combine that with big disjoints, which Olimar struggles to deal with, especially already a character struggles to deal with safe aerial pressure on block. Who will struggle very hard against Cloud, whose air pressure is crazy, and his air speed is so good he can get into situations that force you to block. And as well as matchups where the neutral is doable, but winning it over and over is like not doable, and eventually you'll lose. And at that point you just have to really outplay the Cloud at disadvantage to not get bodied. Finally, the final two matchups and the worst matchups. These matchups are both awful. So I think Corrin's the worst matchup. I'll talk about Fox first. Fox. Fox is a character who has everything Olimar does not want. Crazy good burst options, as we talked before. Really good on-shield pressure with enough speed that Olimar can't just get in situations that whiff punish Fox's aerial landings. So Fox can get in with whatever burst option, pressure Olimar's shield, and Olimar has to guess. And Olimar and Fox can react or read and super body Olimar as a result. And then when Fox is at the ledge, almost at the ledge, Fox can up tilt 2-frame over and over and just ledge trap Olimar forever. Like Olimar legit can't escape the ledge versus Fox. But also, Fox can laser camp Neutral B, and Olimar has to approach, but he can't approach Fox well because of his speed and side B. Olimar's make really hard reads to punish side B, and it sucks. The only thing Olimar has in this matchup is Fox is really easy to combo with like everything, and you can 2-frame Fox with yellow down smash or down tilt. But like you need to get the hits first, and you have to outplay Fox hard to get those hits. So the Corrin matchup. This matchup is very difficult for Olimar. So Corrin has really good everything versus Olimar. Really safe on-shield aerials with lots of range, so Olimar has no way to punish stuff. Side B is hard for Olimar to deal with. Like Olimar can like soft punish with like Pikmin toss, but he can't hard punish it. So at kill percents, Corrin can just spam side Bs, and is nothing Olimar can do about it. Corrin's advantage state being so amazing is really good versus Olimar. Like Olimar can't land, can't get the ledge, can't do anything. In neutral, Corrin's able to kill Pikmin really easily with neutral layers, and even counters, which is basically impunishable. So you can't really toss Pikmin at Corrin. And like Corrin can whiff punish, like no, you can like punish forward smashes with like side Bs really easily. Punish pivot grabs with side Bs, and like the range on Corrin's attacks makes it so Olimar's range is matched, but the power and safety of it is not equal at all. And Olimar's a lot of trouble getting grabs on Corrin, a lot of trouble getting jabs and just getting Corrin's face. And this matchup is doable. Still, like, even Fox and Corrin are both doable matchups. But you have to super outplay Corrin in neutral. And not just, like, play neutral a certain way. I mean, you just have to make hard reads on when they're going to do, like, pins, aerials, grabs, how they react to Pikmin tosses. And overall, and even after all that, you still have trouble killing Corrin. That's the biggest thing. If Corrin's side B wasn't such a good tool at, like, everything versus Olimar, this matchup would probably be like -1 or -1.5. But Pin pushes us to -2 easily because of how abusive it is versus Olimar. At any stage in the game, especially when corners at kill percents. And yeah, you guys know probably a lot of Olimar's harder matchups are the matchups where he can't throw Pikmin or where Pikmin toss damage isn't relevant enough. And that's just how he is. He's a character that, as I mentioned at the start of the video, is really good in neutral. But if a character can beat him in neutral, obviously he's going to have trouble. But if a character destroys him at disadvantage hard or is hard to kill, that's also another issue. And I think this matchup chart reflected that. Let me know what you guys think, if you agree or disagree. I mean, obviously I'm not Olimar main, but I've played him long enough as my secondary. I think I can make this matchup chart. And yeah, I hope you guys liked the video. I know it's pretty long. Peace out.